Taurus, hi. Welcome and welcome back. See your soul 3 with me, Lise. This is going to be a general message for the sun and star sign of Taurus. Some for me, some for you. All right. Taurus, we are going to get into it. We are going to dive deep today. And before we begin, please hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe. And definitely check me out on YouTube and TikTok as well as Facebook, wherever you're watching me from, right? Check all 3 of those. And then hit that like button. All right, Taurus, let's get into it. We're going to ask first, the Rainbow Warrior deck. It's more of an oracle deck. It is an oracle deck. Where you're at, like where you are energetically. What's your aura? Where are you at? Show me for Taurus. Where's Taurus at? Spirit. 52. Which is also breaks down to a 7. Been a lot of changes, choices, maybe even some reflection on the past or just things that you've up to this point, right? There's like the purple here reminds me of the crown chakra, but also the third eye, seeing things for as they are, just wide awake and well aware. But there's also it's like lilac-y too. I want to read from the book on this one. It's also showing like the way the tree is, and like then it's like a shadow, right? Or it's the self of something. Let's dive in. Let's get to this. Reggie, we talked about this. You're going to have to leave if you don't respect mommy's boundaries. What did I say? Get down. Wow, you can come over here. It's winter. What happens in the primary moments of any new cycle will be indicative of the rest of it. Trusting that initial phase sets a pace and a flow forward that allows for the most harmonious path possible toward the ordained accomplishment. A period of rest, repose, and reflection creates the space needed for all aspects of the self to align one's internal environment with one's external circumstances. Receiving this card brings to you attention the need for solidarity and the importance of a plan when moving forward with the current situation or perspective. Resting at this time is not laziness, it's honoring the deepest call of the self to unify and consolidate in preparation to begin again. Yes, Taurus. The self, there is. Sometimes we have to stop. We have to rest. And you're moving into a new phase of something, and it is like, well, like when people practice for a race, right? They have to, sure, they race, right? But they have to also take it easy as well. Or if when somebody's changes their schedule from first shift to third shift, right? There's an adjustment period. That's all this is. This is an adjustment period. And what winter does is it helps feed the spring, right? Might be cold and frigid, right? But it's always like it changes. And then it's like what happens in winter, which is here, but you're coming out of that because it even says so. And I feel it, plus the color. And because I said, getting ready for spring. So in spring, it's happening. Things are blooming and popping and like, right? So it's like taking a rest because something, you're about to achieve something, or at the end stages of something before something else, before it changes into something else, right? Take it how it resonates. I'm feeling this more in, I can feel it in all the ways. I feel it more in a self way, home, and family relationship type way, right? Reggie, we've talked about this. And, but you take it how it resonates. It's a lot to do with yourself too. It's like the learning of, it's no, not the learning, it's understanding what comes with not just the learning, but there's something about like, yeah, the learning, understanding what becomes of the learning. Like when we reach a certain level of evolution or of in ourselves, right, as we go through life, you don't unsee things, right? We just keep growing. It's something like that. Like that's what I'm getting from this. That's your energy, your energetic energy. So it doesn't mean that this is the energy that you are feeling physically, right? It's at a base level energetically. Your body, your subconscious knows that there's a change, and it's like wanting you to rest. And do some of you feel guilty about resting or something like that? Maybe. Spirit, show me what Taurus's energy is and what they need to know. 2 cards for what their energy is. Thank you. And 2 cards for what they need to know. Yes. I'm drawn to say worrying doesn't change the outcome. Taurus, you're over intellectualizing something as well. There you have a lot of swords, right? You're tired. But you're like resilient towards something, and you're resilient, but you're also very like, I'm down, but I'm not out. It's something like that, right? Like you're tired though. Your spirit is tired, and there's something here about either strategizing or afraid or thinking that something's like a liar, cheat, thief, like that type of energy, right? And then we also have the 8 of Swords as the overall energy. Well, here's the thing. What we know about the 8 of Swords is it's a self-imposed mental imprisonment. And we all go through that in different ways. Everyone's different, right? But it's the same energy, just applied differently because we're all different people. This is like, it's a self-imposed mental imprisonment. It's one thought becomes 2, becomes 3, becomes, it just, but none of that is actually what's happening. And we're not stuck either, even though it feels that way. Usually this will come out when I expected to see this. Like, that's not what I mean. I didn't expect it. Like, I didn't know what would come out. But now that the cards are out, this would be the type of energy that I would expect to see in a read like this because of how much you're changing into something, right? Else, like it's life changing for you, right? And so before we finish that, before we start that thing, right at the end stages of like, before we like break out, right? Or yeah, like that, like into the new thing, our mind sometimes likes to keep us constricted because all it knows is what it's known, the patterns, right? And so going outside of those patterns, it triggers the mind, but that's not real, right? It's just things to kind of keep us so that we don't change or grow, second guessing. But this is all normal, because if you didn't feel and think these ways, it would almost be abnormal because of such of a big change as what you're in right now. Like you're entered, like you're moving towards this change, right? It's something big too, Reggie. We've talked about boundaries. No, you're going to have to leave the room. We talked about this. One moment, Taurus. Okay. So, of course, there's a lot going on up here. But worrying doesn't change the outcome also is what I'm hearing, which is true as well. Something about strategizing, and it also could be like, well, I've come this far and I've done this much and now I'm doing this thing. It better be worth it. Something like that. It's like that. And then thinking of all the things that could go wrong because they're possible and plausible, right? Because Taurus is practical, logical, analytical. So that makes sense. What you need to know is there is justice. Whether this is a legal case, and if it is, it's going in your favor, the favor of you, because you are the balance of something that wasn't right. It's something like that. You're getting justice. So it could be court, could be a contract too, could be karmic justice, like dharma coming to you, the good karma, and karma being played out in real time, because the universe is like, you can't fuck with a pure one. You don't fuck with my anointed. And think it's something like that. And it may not even be that extreme for all of you. It could also be saying that there is like a balance coming to something that was immature and just something that you've evolved from. Could be a younger energy, could be, they don't have to be younger, it could just be younger minded, right? There's a justice to that. It could be about a child too, doesn't have to be, but these are the things I'm seeing and feeling, so I'm speaking on all of them. But the balance is here. Justice, Libra energy, which you have a lot of other swords too, which is Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, and Gemini here too. It's because you went into analytical mode. Tauruses do that because you're extremely practical and logical, and then you like analyze that. Yeah. So that in itself should also say, like what I just said, speak to everything's going to be okay, and what you need to know is that like a wrong's being made right, or a truth is coming to something, or whatever was imbalanced before is being balanced now. Now, something could have happened last September, October, or something could be playing out this next September and October. Getting an emphasis on that, so I'm bringing that up. Then we also have the lovers at the bottom. So this is also telling me that this could be a relationship, like I said, or I don't know who subscribes to the twin flame journey. I personally don't, and I don't like to bring it up unless it comes out, because I think sometimes people, there's nothing wrong with having a twin flame, but if you're not healed enough, you could trick yourself into waiting around and being in a toxic relationship because you think someone's your twin flame, right? Now, we have a saying, or I do, right? Like, if you're not acting like a soulmate, see you next motherfucking life. Sometimes it be like that, but not always. There's some sort of companionship. It's like literally mates for life. And this is why I say that, not only because the lovers, which is Gemini energy, which is the twin soul, like the sign of the twins, but it's like two opposites coming together, because where you're not opposite matters the most. It's something like that. And but Canadian geese mate for life. They have one mate. And yeah, it's like that. And it's also the balance of the divine feminine, divine masculine within self, so that because the more balanced we are, the more balanced our life is too. Yeah. Okay, let's see. What's the situation though, Spirit? What's the situation? Give me two more. One more. Was there a betrayal in some way, shape, form, or fashion? Like oh my gosh, look, then the Emperor. We have the Empress here. Was there a third party interference? The truth is coming out to something, clarity. Here's why. The Mother of Wands can be seen as a mistress. Now, don't get caught up in the sex or gender, because there's no sex or gender in Tarot. It's all arbitrary. It's the energy of, right? This is the energy of like a female mistress, but it could also be saying a immature masculine, immature man mistress, because they're in their feminine energy, right? It's like that. Because there's something about that with the Empress, which I know is you. Taurus, you are the Empress, the divine feminine. So this would be like a karmic relationship or a karmic partner coming in to fuck up a relationship. If that's what I feel like, I'm doing a twin flame reading because of the way this is going. Yeah, I got to call it how I see it and feel it. There was some sort of third party interference. For a lot of you, it was another person interfering in a two-person relationship. The Empress now has to, which is you, has to, wow, there's the pink and the purple. Remember, and here, the purple, the downloads, the seeing things clearly, and just, wow, you're very enlightened, Taurus. That's why I was like, whew. You're making a head over heart decisions, and you're also, it's like finding what makes you happy. I'm hearing, if it irks my soul, it's got to go. Yes, we live by that. But it's also leaving everything and anything that doesn't serve best and highest good. There was a betrayal, and I believe it was your Emperor betrayed you, right? Which is the match. The mother of Tarot, the father of Tarot. And this is all four queens and all four kings in one. Like, so this is the one side of the Empress is the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Air, right? Same thing for this. But you learn the lessons as you go, and you embody all of that. So it's like there's a match here, but somebody was not acting like their match. That's why I feel like it's a twin flame reading, because sometimes in twin flame readings, well, I don't do a ton of them, but they creep in sometimes. But what I've noticed with the twin flame energy is it's two opposite people coming together where it matters the most. Because where you agree or where you match is where it matters most. So it's like you are working on the other stuff. It's like that. But you've both reached some level of enlightenment and way of being, and it's working through this, but there's got to be truth, or there was truth. It's clear-cut truth, and that's, well, I was the purple, the crown chakra, and here, in other words, was telling to me, because that's clear. I see it for how it is, and I'm not going to be gaslit or put on me reactive abuse, like. It's something like that. And this isn't going to be for everyone. And please don't take this energy on, because if it doesn't resonate, if you don't know this to be true, if this is not your story, do not take this on, right? I'm reading for a lot of people, so I get different storylines, right? And it's okay if it's not your story this time, but if it is your story, then pay attention, right? It's the energy, the strongest energy that wanted to come out for Taurus. What you need to know, Taurus, it basically was telling a backstory of what happened. Everything's going to work out, because what you're going through was normal given the circumstances. It all seems like I saw it, I felt it. Things are coming into balance. It just takes a little bit, right? And it's not always like, for things to be in balance, it means they once were unbalanced, right? So it's like just getting there. It's a process. It's the journey. And it's almost over in a good way. It's almost done, because we saw the Nine of Wands. They're like, oh, I'm hanging in there, but fuck, right? It's the resilience, too, with the Nine of Wands. Another thing with the Nine of Wands is the Wounded Warrior, and the aspect of, oh, wow. And then this deck wanted to come out, the Rainbow Warrior. I haven't taken this deck out in months. Neither of these. They wanted to be seen. Taurus. Like, yeah, for this read. Oh gosh, I lost it. It was something about rainbow word, truth, clarity, something like that. I'm sorry, Taurus, I lost the channel. I'll try to get it back. Spirit, what am I? Okay, it's saying that you're going to be moving in a much lighter and freer energy on Earth. This is your card too, Taurus. It's Pentacles, Daughter of Pentacles, which is the Page of Pentacles, but in this deck, it's the Daughter of Pentacles. There is a lot of wisdom coming, but you're still, it's not even that there's a lot of wisdom coming. It's like you understand something. Spirit, what is going on? You see something in a different way that releases some sort of mental anxiety. For some of you also, somebody could have stepped out and had a child outside of a relationship, because I saw that and I'm getting that here too. And it's like you're understanding that it's not the child's fault, something like that. Not that you ever thought that, right? That's not for everyone. For others of you, it's just releasing mental drama and bullshit and moving in a freer state, but also reminiscing on how much you learned because you felt like you were naive, but you weren't naive. Let me know if this resonates. Leo is here, and I was seeing the number 8 in my mind's eye, but I didn't say it. But Leo, so this is the one of the major arcanas for Leo, right? It's number 11 in the tarot, but Leo is 8, the 8. It represents Leo because where the planet is and the stars of strength. Anyway, it's Leo energy. So something could be happening in the month of August or at Leo season, which I believe is like, yeah, it's now. And something about infinity too, going back and forth. You're elevating, and you've been strong through something. You had to be. There's some sort of apology coming for a heartbreak, and then there's a 10 of Cups. But somebody else is stuck in their head, or they have anxiety because of some sort of change that has to take place. Somebody might be hermiting themselves, like being a recluse, and someone else might be holding up boundaries because the choice should, wow, all my cards are upright. So we know by now, Taurus, that all my cards are upright. So if they're in reverse or come out in reverse for some reason, or they're put in reverse for some reason, then I take them that way. I am a reader that will read reversal. Some kind of boundary of like I am the choice, because this way it's like, and you're not confused. You see things clearly. It's something like that. It's almost like you're, and there's something about financial independence, in being independent, and that knocking the tower, like it's shaking something up, or it will shake something up. Anything faulty, anything not built on a faulty foundation, Spirit will make crumble. Anything built on it, yeah, like that. This is heavy, Taurus. Spirit, show me some advice. What is, like, give me some advice that Taurus needs to hear right now. The purple, you are seeing things very real. I think I remember now, the rainbow here, the color, the purple. You are seeing things, it's just such a real. You're trying to almost, what do you, it's like you're, can't believe what you know, or can't believe something, but it is the way that it is. It's something like that. We have, all right, 15. What does Taurus need to know, though? I understand that, but give me 2 more. Thank you. It came out again. But number 1 came out too. And one's talk about, the new journey going along the path, right? 15, solitude and a lot of changes, but balance comes out of that because that breaks down to a 6. And then the 7, like we talked about. Well, 52, but 1. We're going to read from the book, Taurus. I have to keep this under 30 minutes or it won't play on Facebook. It'll stop. The sound will stop after 30 minutes. All right. This is fucking perfect. This is ridiculous. How, in a good way. So remember what winter was, right? Like the end. Look what this is. This is called action. This is what you need to know. You got this. I fucking knew that you have it. You just are going through something and it's hard. And of course it's hard, but you got this. Transition, repose, response, energy, joy, mindful awareness. Action is the transition from one experience to another. The state of motion requires immense presence and awareness. Awareness, that's what it was. That's what I was trying to think. Okay. The chakras. All right. Oh, and awareness. Do you find yourself reacting to things or responding to them? The difference consists of what you know about the events leading up to the current moment, as well as your personal mastery of the circumstances at hand. Biology and habit can often be impetuous for our reactions, but it's our spiritual awareness and choices that will ultimately train the mind and body to respond. Any action taken now will change your position. Pay attention to your environment, feelings, and thoughts. Once you become clear about the move to be made, do it with all the awareness, energy, and joy you can muster. You will meet with the support you need on every level. Breathe, assess, focus, know, and go. It's like that. Yeah. It's almost like saying too, and I hope that this resonates because that you have to be at such a level of awareness. Like some of you may have been accustomed to being what's called reactive abuse. I can relate to that. It's when people do things and say things in a way that they know will invoke an emotional response from you. And when you respond emotionally like that, it's not always the greatest. And all of a sudden, the argument or the focus ends up turning on not what happened, but how we reacted. So now it's a manipulation tactic that negative people, toxic people, but also people that are growing and have had things happen in their life and they're overcoming it. They're trying to work out the kinks. We all have shit we got to work out and go through, right? We don't know till we know, then we fix it. So how to reach this is staying calm, even when we don't want to. Understanding that any attempt to distract away from the truth, it's sort of like a child, right? Like when you have a child and your kid wants to keep eating candy and you're like, no, and you take the candy away. Well, first they fight, then they throw a tantrum, then they'll say things to try to get you to react. Right? Well, it's like that. But after all, they've exhausted everything and the parent stays like, no, I love you, but no, still loving, but assertive, right? And calm. The child usually gives up, right? Or around nap time too. It's like that, but then just amplify that into adulthood, right? It's like that, but we have to harness that energy. And no, it's not fucking fair that we have to do that to show others. But sometimes people are worth it. And if they're worth it, then yeah, we do. You have this though, Taurus. And then this one wanted to come out too, remember, or it did come out. Just want to make sure the mic was still on. 15. Taurus, you are an earth element. You know that, right? Obviously, look. Earth element, this is just confirmation, Taurus. Earth element. Nurture, nature, growth, stability, commitment, fundamental, relationship, family. The element of earth is comprised of how we plant, nurture, and watch our seeds grow. It is the cool depth of perception we cultivate to support our desires and choices. The earth contains many properties, metals of all kinds, minerals, and water. The perfect combination of ingredients in the right measure is the foundation of growth. At this moment, what is burgeoning your life? Burgeoning, burgeoning, burgeoning your life. Is it happiness, a project, a relationship, personal wealth, or fulfilling the needs of others? Take stock of the ingredients you possess and the ones you need in order to realize your creation. Try different combinations to see what works best. Don't worry about wasting time. It's best spent honoring what you have and collecting or cultivating what you don't. Wow. I'm going to stop now, Taurus. I hope that this reading resonated. I love you. Bye. I have to go because the time.